I was also lucky because Isaac Vossa was in Salzburg by then.
Okay.
So, and Sadio Mane was there. So,
Oh, so
yeah,
you met
so,
Sadio Mane in Salzburg.
yes.
16 years in Austria. Were you with your parents?
No, I was alone.
16 years all alone in Austria.
Yes. At the beginning, it was really difficult. But on the other side, I was also lucky because Isaac Vossa was in Salzburg by then.
Okay.
So, and Sadio Mane was there. So,
Oh, so
yeah,
you met
so
Sadio Mane in Salzburg.
yes. So initially, when I got there, I didn't meet them. I met only Isaac Vossa. I think the second day, and then we had a good interaction. And he's really a good guy, like a really unbelievable guy. So he literally helped us, and he had someone who cooked for him. So we had no problems with the food.
Local food.
Yes.
And
So,
why enjoy it?
when me fear for Obia from Abedi.
Abedi Pele, Abedi
Yeah,
Pele.
when I was growing up, I always heard Abedi Pele, Abedi. I never saw Abedi Pele play, but I always, like, before, like, I think GTV, they used to make sports highlights.
Yeah.
And
Kwabena Yeboah.
before the show, they always showed this goal that Abedi Pele scored.
Yeah.
And that's the only video I ever saw from him. And since then, I always say I want to be like Abedi Pele. And even my dad calls me Abedi. The first impression says a lot. So when I did my first training with them, all the players, the coaches, everybody was impressed. So I literally made friends immediately. So that was when I got close to Sadio Mane, and then we became friends.
When were you integrated into the first team, from the junior team to the first team?
And the funny thing is, like, I was literally not me yet training in the first team, no. Even when I was 16. Until most of the time, no, under 19, no, yet training, like maybe first team on the ball. If they want to play 11 against 11 and they don't have, like, and they have a lot of injuries.
22.
Yes, and then they just call one of the players, like the position they need. So they will literally invite me, then I'll go there. So in my first training, Roger Smith was the coach.
Okay.
So my first training there, and it's like, nah, this guy is really good. He needs to stay with the first team. So I stayed with the first team with him, and I trained the whole time. I mean, with 16 years, if you watch players who play Europa League all the time, and then you have to train with them, I mean, it's kind of scary a little bit. But then I was but I was able to cope with them. And, the first impression says a lot. So when I did my first training with them, all the players, the coaches, everybody was impressed. So I literally made friends immediately. So that was when I got close to Sadio Mane, and then we became friends.
Your favorite edition of the Gajio podcast, where we bring you interviews from top-tier football professionals. Today, I'm in the studios with one guy you'd want to hear about. He's an exceptional player who's had stints with the under-20 national team, that is the Black Satellite of Ghana. He's played for a couple of clubs in Europe. He's played in the UEFA Europa League. He's played for FC Salzburg. That is Salzburg in Austria. He's played for Wolfsberger. Currently with Wolfsberger, he's played with a lot of clubs. He's here to tell us a story. My name is Ejari. This is the Gajo Podcast. Kindly subscribe to our channel on YouTube as German Sports. On TikTok is German Sports. We have a whole lot of quality content, interview discussions, and a football analysis for you, which I think you would enjoy very much. My guest for today is David Atanga. If you know David Atanga, you know we have one of the fiercest and most famous footballers you have in Ghana. He has this style of playing like Thierry Henry, a very versatile striker, and he will score you. Atanga, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, boss.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Everything is fine.
Yeah.
2015, under 20 World Cup.
Yeah.
You're part of the Black Satellite team.
Yeah, that's true.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
How was the feeling?
I mean, it was a great feeling, like, being called up to play for your national team, to represent Ghana. It's always a good feeling. But, yeah, everybody's working hard to be called in the national team. It doesn't matter where, but for me, it was really a great feeling.
But tracking the teams you've played for, I haven't seen any Ghanaian team. Were you born in Ghana?
Yes, I was born in Ghana. I left Ghana at an early age, but I was born in Ghana. I'm from Bolgatanga.
So you were born in Bolgatanga?
Exactly.
Okay.
And I came to Red Bull Academy when I was, I think, 14. And then I left there when I was 16.
Mm-hmm. So born in Bolgatanga, that is where you schooled?
Yes.
Until you moved to the Red Bull Academy?
Yes.
Which area?
At Soga Kope.
Soga Kope.
Yeah, that's where the academy was.
So you played for the academy for how many years?
Initially, I had 3 years contract there, but then we played 2 tournaments in France, and then I got scouted by a lot of clubs. And Red Bull, they knew that I had like few months to end my contract, so they didn't want me to go back to Ghana, so they took me from France to Austria with Rafael Jamina, the late, the one who died. Yeah, so we literally went to Austria together because the other clubs were really interested and they were willing to take our parents to stay in Europe with us. But then Red Bull had the opportunity to give us like it's called like a school visa. So we just had the school visa just to learn the language, and but then we played football there.
How old were you by then?
I was 16.
16
I
years.
could only play when after my 18th birthday. So I was just there to train with the first team, second team, or under 19 till I'm 18. Then I could play.
Were you scouted when you were in Bogatanga by Salzburg, or your parents took you to the academy? I want you to be a footballer.
No, initially I've never. The funny thing is, I've never been to trial in academy before. We had a tournament in Wa, and that's where the Red Bull Academy came there to scout players. And then after the first game, they already scouted me, and then that was it. So I was scouted in Borga, let me say it like that. And then I moved to the academy. So from the academy, 2 years later, I went to Europe.
Wow. So you already had interest in football. Do you have any family related people who played football, or you just are the
Yeah,
first person?
my one of my elder brothers played football. He was really good. He could play in the Ghana Premier League, but then it was really a good competition. The competition was really high, and but he didn't want to play football. But he was good. The discipline side was his problem, so he didn't want to play. So initially, like I would say, the boys, like I was the only one who played football. One of my sisters also wanted to play football, but you know, when you're from the north, it's so hard. It comes with a lot of sacrifice. So, and it's only few who could sacrifice a lot for football.
So your brothers were the inspiration for you to play football.
Yeah, no, to me, and when I was growing up, I always heard Abedi Pele, Abedi. I never saw Abedi Pele play, but I always, like, before, like, I think GTV, they used to make sports highlights.
Yeah.
And
Kwabena
before,
Yeboah.
yeah, before the show, they always show that this goal that Abedi Pele scored.
Yeah.
And that's the only video I ever saw from him. And since then, I always say I want to be like Abedi Pele. And even my dad calls me Abedi.
So Nkwala Brim, you've always wanted to be like Abedi Pele.
Yeah, me fear for Bia from Abedi.
Abedi Pele, Abedi
Yeah.
Pele. So experience, no? How has it been? 16 years in Austria. Were you with your parents?
No, I was alone.
16 years all alone in Austria.
Yes.
Now, how did you take it? Not living it the same way, because from Ghana to Austria, it's a new area, new country, new culture. How were you able to adapt?
I mean, at the beginning it was really difficult, but on the other side, I was also lucky because Isaac Vossa was in Salzburg by then.
Okay.
So, and Sadio Mane was there. So
So
yeah,
you met
so,
Sadio Mane in Salzburg.
yes. So initially, when I got there, I didn't meet them. I met only Isaac Vossa. I think the second day, and then we had a good interaction. And he's really a good guy, like a really unbelievable guy. So he literally helped us, and he had someone who cooked for him. So we had no problems with the food.
Local food.
Yes.
And
so,
why enjoy it?
Well then, so we had no problem with that. But it just like, and we went there in summer. So during the winter, it was kind of difficult. When you are young, you have to go to school. You have to go to school after training. So you have to train very early in the morning. And that was, for me, that was the most difficult part. You have to wake up early in the morning. It's like 0 degrees or -5, and you have to go with the bike to training. After that, you have to go to school and go to second training again. That was the only difficult part. Aside that, I didn't really have like difficulties like that. Yeah.
So when were you integrated into the first team, from the junior team to the first team?
And the funny thing is, like, I was literally not me yet training the first team, no.
You be
Even
on
when
the
I was
first team?
16. Until most of the time, no, under 19, no, yeah, training, like maybe first team, ball if they want to play 11 against 11 and they don't have and they have a lot of
Almost year
injuries.
22.
Yes, and then they just call one of the players like the position they need. So they will literally invite me, then I'll go there. So in my first training, Roger Smith was the coach.
Okay.
So my first training there, and he's like, nah, this guy is really good. He needs to stay with the first team. So I stayed with the first team with him, and I trained the whole time. I mean, with 16 years, if you watch players who play Europa League all the time, and then you have to train with them, I mean, it's kind of scary a little bit. But then I was
Fresh
able,
Abeda also
yeah, but I was able to cope with them. And, the first impression says a lot. So when I did my first training with them, they were all the players, the coaches, everybody was impressed. So I literally made friends immediately. So that was when I got close to Sadio Mane, and then we became friends.
Okay, so when you went to Salzburg, Mane wasn't in the team. Later, Mane was brought into the team.
No, he was already there.
He was already in the team.
Yes,
Okay.
he was already in the team, and we, I met him there. So yeah, and he was already playing. I think he was already. I think when I came, he was injured. That's why I didn't get close to him. Yeah, but then I think a couple of weeks, he was fit again, and then yeah.
So now you're 18 years and you are now eligible to play professionally.
Yes.
What was your first game?
Oh, I can't really. For the first team, I think I played a couple of friendly games with them.
So you played a couple of friendly matches before
Yeah.
being integrated to the
Yeah,
first team.
I played maybe 2 games with the first team in the friendly game, and I remember one of the games was against Bayern Munich when Pep moved to Bayern.
Okay.
Yes,
From
and
Barca.
yes, and the coach called me. I was like, I will be in the squad. If nothing happened, I'm not gonna play. But if something should happen,
That is
then
injury.
yes, then I will
Okay.
have to play because they had exactly 22 players, so they played. Some played a bit longer and some played less. And then, I mean, my favorite player was Iron Robin. And then when we got to the stadium, the first 2 players I saw was Robin and Ribery.
Your favorite player growing up
Yes,
was Iron Robin,
Iron Robin and Ben Alpha.
Atan Benafa.
Yes.
Then it's so special about Iron Robin. I want to play like Iron Robin.
I mean, I had the same I have the same style of play like them. Just like also like Thierry Henry, for example. They play more direct, more like they don't have that much time to waste. They take players on and they are very creative. And yeah, growing up, I've always watched them play and I really admire how they play.
So when you saw Robin, when Ribery, on your Mokasai,
I mean, the first thing that came in my mind, I was like, nah, I wish I wasn't here.
pressure.
Yeah, I mean, these are players you're growing up, you see them on television. You never dream of seeing them, not even talk of being on the
Playing with
same
them.
pitch with them. So I got scared, and normally the young players, you need to, when we got down from the bus, you need to help the physios carry some stuff inside. So I had some bags with me. I could feel the pressure, the tension, everything. But then in my head, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna. The possibility that I'll play is really low, so
Yeah.
why should I be nervous? And even if I will play, it will be like maybe 5 minutes,
4
maximum
minutes,
10 minutes. So why other than mess through?
Ubobi.
Then my movie,
Ubobi.
and I was happy.
You were happy you didn't play.
Yeah,
What
I
if you
mean,
had scored against them?
I mean, it would have been a dream come true, but coming to think of it, players who played in my position was like really, really good players, and everybody wanted to show himself. For example, Mane killed the whole game. He played 90 minutes. He killed the whole. He scored goal, created. He gave an assist, and he caused a penalty. So and we scored. We beat them 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah,
With Robin and Ribery in the team.
yeah. But I think Robin didn't play.
Ribery
Yeah,
played.
but all of them played. Philip Lam, all of them did. All the Bayern players
You had to
played.
beat them.
Yeah, we beat them. I mean, that was the first game of, I think Pep. That was his first game,
First game.
from Pep Guardiola, I think.
Who were your teammates during that time?
Oh, even some of them even retired. Yeah, like the players who people know now, like Mane, Isaac Vosa was there. Who could I mention? Soriano. I don't
Roberto
know.
Soriano.
Yeah. No, Jonathan Soriano.
Soriano,
He was a
okay.
player from Barcelona. Kevin Campbell from Leipzig was
Kevin
there.
Campbell, yeah. He
Yeah,
still plays for
yeah,
Leipzig from Austria.
yes. And we had players, a lot of players, like, and some of them came later, but they didn't play that game. But I have a lot of teammates who plays for Bayern Munich, Leipzig, Liverpool, so many clubs.
Okay.
Yeah,
So your debut in the league,
yeah,
in the Bundesliga for
Austria.
yeah, your debut, the day you made your debut for Salzburg in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Let that be.
To be honest, I don't remember.
Hey!
To be honest, I don't remember because it's like we played Champions League qualification
Yeah,
first, and then after that we played the cup game before the main
the league.
competition. So literally, I couldn't after the Champions League qualification. We got
You
kicked out.
eliminated.
Yeah, and it was sad. So I literally don't. But if I check, I can find exactly when I made my first game.
But did you play in the Champions League game?
Yeah, I played. I played both games.
Who was it against?
We played against Malmo.
Malmo from
Yeah,
Sweden.
and we beat them first in the
That's
first
right.
leg at home 2-0, and then we lost 3-0 at in Malmo.
Malmo in Sweden.
Yeah.
And then later I played in the cup game.
And later we played in the cup game that was like against a small team, so we beat them, and then I made my debut.
Okay, so that is great. So now your first full season as a Salzburg player, you weren't you didn't command the starting spot
Yeah,
because of Sadio Mane and a few other players. You came from the bench a lot of times.
yeah.
How was the full season like? The
I
experience?
mean, in Salzburg, it has always been difficult for me, to be honest. I mean, it's a club that helps me a lot, and I always say it every interview that I go. Like, I really appreciate them a lot, but they also delayed my career also a little bit
How was
because
it in
I had opportunities to go like to other clubs, which I know that would have been a different story today. Or if I played there regular, if I got the chances, let me put that way, I would have also been somewhere ahead, far away than I am here. But the first season, it was kind of difficult because we had like Sabitzer, Lazaro, we had Van der Sar, so many good players.
Van der Sar, the defender?
No, he's a Brazilian guy,
Yes,
but he plays now in Russia, I think.
Van der Sar.
Yeah, he's a really good player.
Then Marcel Sabitzer,
Marcel Sabitzer,
Valentina Lazaro.
Lazaro. We had so many players. Like in Leipzig, almost all the players are from Salzburg.
Salzburg, yeah,
Yes.
mostly.
Yeah.
Just because
So
of affiliation.
I literally didn't play a lot because of these guys, and the competition wasn't. It's not that hard. And if you have really good players, they beat everybody 3-0, 4-0, 2-0 every game. So it's so hard for the coach to put someone out and put you in.
Okay, so
Yeah, so you just have to be humble and wait for your opportunities. But then, yeah,
you wanted to leave Salzburg because of playing time.
exactly. I wanted to. It's the thing is, I was also really not lucky because I was really unlucky because I got the chance to play at some point, and I played in the preseason. Every game I scored till the last preseason. Till the last game, I had a crack on my bone, on my right, the outer part, and that was it. And this season, we played Europa League till the half final. If I wasn't injured and I played at that time, I would have also. That's the season that got Minamino, He Chang Huang, all these guys to Liverpool,
Minamino,
Wolfsburg.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you played against Liverpool. You didn't play
No, I didn't play.
because of the injury.
Yes,
Oh,
I didn't play.
so you had agents. You spoke to your agent. That's okay. I think I'm not being treated fairly at this club. So you would want to look elsewhere. And your agent would definitely say, yes, I've thought of that. But I think Salzburg is the best place for you to develop as a player.
Yeah.
What conversations went on? You didn't tell your agent anything of that sort.
No, the thing is, I told him, listen, I know Salzburg is a very good step for me to play football in my career. But at the end of the day, I need to go somewhere I will play regular. If I get I should be treated fairly based on my training and my character. I don't want to be somewhere, I knew that I was one of the best on the pitch in training. I had the best character every time, both on and off the pitch. but I never got the chance to play. It's not like they gave me the chance and I didn't play good.
You never
So
had a chance to
I
prove
never had the
your
chance to
worth.
put my qualities. And for example, I some players like Samaseko, Mamadou Hadara
Nadia
from Leipzig.
Samaseko.
Yeah, all these guys, they all came and met me in the first team. But then when they came, they played immediately.
Because they are midfielders.
Yeah, I know. It's just an example. Even the players who played in my position, they were not better than me. They knew that they were not
That
better
is
than me.
those who met you afterwards.
Yes. And then
Because you met Sadio Mane in the team.
yes,
And you can obviously tell during that period, Sadio Mane was way better.
yeah, hundred
Because he had a
percent.
lot of experience.
Exactly.
But after Sadio left, those who came into the team,
Yeah, they all knew that I was better than them, and I had more confidence and more experience than them. But I never got the chances to play. But football is also sometimes you have to take the risk and also chase your future.
you think the coach didn't like you?
No, I don't. For me, I always say to myself, if I play, it depends on me. If I don't play, it depends on me. I don't want to give excuses. The coach like me, he doesn't like me. For me, all those things are excuses. But he has his reasons. At least the only thing I have with him is you communicate with me. These are the reasons why you don't play. And they couldn't give me excuses because I told them, okay, if I don't play in the first team, then let me play in the second team. So initially, I played. We had a Spanish coach. I played in the second team, and I had the chance to go to Ajax.
On loan or
No, on
permanent
a
transfer?
permanent deal. But then Red Bull didn't want to give me out because they knew that. Obviously, they are smart. They know that if Ajax comes for a player, that means they've seen something good in
Yeah.
him. So I was like, okay, you guys don't want to use me as I want. And these are the group of Ajax that played in the Champions League till the half final.
Frankie de Jong,
Exactly.
Van de Beek,
Exactly. They are
all
my
of
age
those
mates.
players.
Yeah, they are my age mates. So Ajax wanted to put me in this squad.
Oh, so you were supposed to be part of the Ajax squad.
Exactly. But then Red Bull, they never let me play, and they were asking for 2 million.
2 million euros.
Yes, and that,
For transfer fee.
yes,
And Ajax thought it was too much for a young
yeah,
player.
they
like
didn't
you.
want to pay that because you have a player, you don't let him play. So you don't buy a player 2 million
Who is not playing?
in the first team regular. You understand? So for them, they even though they wanted to take the risk, but they thought about it and like, why I don't play and why if I don't play, why they wanna sell me for 2 million? Just because Ajax is coming for me.
Very
But
frustrated.
yeah, but that's the reason why I started going on loan and all those things. And some of the loan I only went there because of playing time, and some of them I went because I wasn't really happy there in Salzburg.
So which team did you go on loan?
I went to a first loan. I went to Heidenheim, was in Germany.
Heidenheim.
Yeah, and I didn't like it.
You didn't like Heidenheim?
No.
They were in the Bundesliga too?
Yes.
Or for you by then?
Yeah, I didn't like it, to be honest. That was like also one of the mistakes I also made. But I learned also a lot from them.
What didn't you like about the club?
I mean, the club, everything was like too, like, I don't know. It wasn't really my style, It wasn't really my style. But I mean, they were good people. They were kind to me. But I just didn't like the kind of football because they are more like a club who play long balls and
Okay.
you understand.
Okay.
And
They don't really possess.
they have nothing to do with trying to play and create something. So it was kind of difficult for me. After 1 month, I knew that this is gonna be hard. But I mean, as a professional footballer, you need to deal with whatever situation you are in. So yeah, I knew and I told the coach already after 3 months that during the half of the season, I would want to go because it's not about you, it's not about the people. You people are so nice to me, but at the end of the day, I want to go somewhere I can play football and be happy. Because these white people, that's what they want. You be direct to them. And the coach was like, yeah, that's fine because he expected more than I am, like more from me than how it was. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I wish I could give more, but the style of football we play, it doesn't help.
It doesn't help.
You know.
So it's just 1 year in Germany.
I went there on half a season,
For 6 months.
and then I went back to Austria, to Mattersburg.
Mattersburg.
Yeah, and there
Second division.
yeah, no, in the first league.
Mattersburg were in the first league.
Yeah,
Bundesliga.
yes.
Oh,
And then when I went there, they were really suffering. They had the first round, they had I think 14 points or 13. And then when I came there, we literally beat everybody back to back. Even Salzburg, we beat them. We beat
you played
everybody.
against Salzburg.
Yeah,
Oh, so if you're on loan, you can play against your parents' club.
it depends on the deal.
Oh,
Yeah, if
so you
the
played
deal
against Salzburg.
says,
How was the feeling like? Okay, there's my parents' club, Mattersburg. We need points. I'm coming to play against my parents' club. Like motivation.
I mean, my teammates, they were like really motivated. But for me, it was normal. Like they are my teammates. I know all of them, their qualities. So it wasn't new for me. And I knew before the game, I knew that we're gonna beat them. I told one of my teammates, I told him like, listen, today we're gonna beat them. They can do what because if they had won, they would have been champion.
Champions.
And their next game was supposed to be Rapid Vienna
And
at
they were
home.
competing with Rapid Vienna.
Yes. So, and we told them they can win the league, but not against us. And we beat them 2-1. I made one assist and I scored.
What made you so confident?
I don't know. Like, I know my
You
teammates.
thought they weren't too good.
They were really good. But then I knew that we're going to beat them because we had a flow.
Okay.
We had like a back-to-back wins, like a lot. And I knew that how we play today, if we keep that same energy and that motivation, we're gonna beat them. And literally that's what happened.
So after the match, how was the atmosphere? How did the Salzburg team take you? Like
I mean, all of them love me. They know
were
what I
happy you
can
beat
do.
them,
Yeah,
even though they were competing
they
for
know
the
what
league.
I can do. So initially after the game, they all came. I was like, wow, they're so happy for me and this. And after the game, I think a couple of days, they called me immediately and was like, they need me back for the next season.
Definitely. So you were confident enough to have more playing time after the season. With
Exactly.
Mattersburg. And then after you went back to Salzburg,
Yeah.
how was it? You had playing time.
I had playing time. Like that's the season we played Europa League till the half season.
2019.
Yes, because when I came, I played every preseason game and we won all the games. And then yeah, that was during the last game of the preseason. I had a crack on my right foot, and then I didn't play a lot. After my injury, I didn't get the time to play again, and then I went on loan. But I asked the coach to go on loan because I needed to play regular for the following season because I wanted to go. Either I leave or I go on loan in a good competition league or team that I can show myself. And yeah, and at the end of the day, I succeeded. I went on loan and I played very good. I scored a lot of goals.
To
And
Linfring,
no, to St. Polten.
St. Paul, Germany.
St. Polten.
St. Polten. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
But Liefering is like a second team from Salzburg. So literally,
Yeah,
you
you're
can play for
affiliated.
Liefering and Salzburg at the same
You're
time.
affiliated.
Yes.
Never knew.
Yeah, I played both of them at the same time.
Linfring and Salzburg.
Yeah.
So you can play today for Salzburg and play tomorrow for Linfring.
Sometimes I played for Liefering and you can play only 45 minutes. And then you can go out and the next day you can play for Salzburg. So for me, it was fun for me because I played Liefering 45. I could score a goal and then we win. I get my full bonus. The next game I go to Salzburg, sit on the bench, I get my full bonus again.
So in a scenario where Linfring qualifies to play in Bundesliga,
They are not allowed to.
because I've watched Linfring a couple of times in the second Bundesliga,
Yeah.
and then they perform. Yes, I don't see them in the.
They are not allowed to.
Oh, so they're just not allowed to.
We're always like, we could take the competition, be champions, but then the second one goes in the Bundesliga.
Bundesliga.
Yes.
So I was always thinking, why is this team not playing in the Bundesliga? Because sometimes I track their performance second on the league table, and yet they
Yeah.
don't play. So I'll be like, what's happening? Okay. So aside playing in Austria, Germany, which other country have you played?
Belgium. I played in Belgium too. Yeah.
For which team?
Ostende.
Ostende.
Yes.
Okay. How was the experience in Belgium as well?
I mean, it was. I think it's a general thing with the French people. It's kind of like the discipline is. I don't like if you play in Germany and you go to a different country, it's so hard for you because of the discipline. In Germany, the discipline is another level, but in other countries they just don't care. And for me, that was like my problem with most players. Some players came to training very late.
In Belgium.
Yes, when we have meeting at 10, you see most of the players coming in 9:58,
And
9:59.
the management didn't care.
They, I mean, they're 1 minute early, so they're not gonna say anything.
Were you on loan?
No, I was on a permanent deal,
Deal. So how many
but
years did you spend there?
3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
And you weren't really happy with
No, I
the
mean the
club.
first year was okay, but then after the second year, I was able to relate with them, and I played a lot. And before I went there, I had a chance to go to Saudi for big money, but then I had a and I was scouted by Leicester City by then, but then I got injured. I didn't get the chance to go there again.
Are you prone to injury?
Sorry.
Are you prone to injury?
It's if I say injury, everybody think like I got like serious
Serious
injury.
injury.
It's all most wingers like are sprinters.
Yeah.
So I always get like maybe some tiny muscle tear
Muscle
or
tear.
something like that. And these are normal in football as a winger or a fullback.
Okay.
So literally that was what happened, and the deal didn't come. I mean the scouts, everybody came to the stadium to. They literally called me that they want to see the next 4 games from Leicester City. They want to see the next 4 games. And the scout who scouted Mahrez, he scouted
Riyad
me.
Mahrez.
Yes, and he said like he literally see the same thing like from him.
Yeah.
So they wanted to see the next 4 games, but then we had a new coach. I didn't play.
The coach didn't let you play.
Yes, I don't know why, but before I was playing and I performed. But when he came, I don't know why I didn't play. And the national team coach was in Germany to watch me and Tepete, Bernard Tepete.
Yeah, Bernard. He's currently in Bulgaria,
Bulgaria.
for Ludogorets.
Yes.
Yeah. So currently you are with Musvega. How are things going with your?
I mean, it's really good. I've been playing like at the beginning of the season, but like I said, I got a tear on my calf, which like I was out for like 9 weeks, and I mean we had a great season. We could have even been double champion, but the last game
Double champions.
like we won the cup,
Yeah, you won the cup.
and
Yeah.
the competition, the last game, we just needed to win to be champion.
I saw you Musvega playing as a qualification for conference league, conference.
Yeah,
Assembly.
we have Europa League qualification to
Yeah,
play.
Europa League qualification.
Yes, so it's just one game. We play in the third round. So if we qualify, we play Europa League.
Ahead of a match day, you know you're supposed to play. How are your preparations like?
I mean, if I wake up, I do the usual thing. I pray, make sure I get something to eat.
What do you eat?
I eat most of the time like maybe a toast with avocados, vegetables, fruits. That's why like not to eat too heavy, And yeah, just listen to music, go to the dressing room. Just a good vibe, just to motivate yourself.
No rituals.
Rituals is I call maybe one of my friends or my family.
That's the rituals.
That's all the only thing I do.
Every time before a game.
Every time I speak to one of my friends or one of my someone from my family. Aside that, I don't do anything.
That is what you believe in.
That's what I believe.
So in a day where you don't call any of your friends or your family, how is the performance?
I mean, you can always play good and you can always play bad. The thing is, you just have to motivate yourself. And I always say, the best motivation is to be fit, 100% fit. If you're 100% fit, believe me, you can even sleep till 1 minute before the game and you play good. But if you're not fit, you'll be doubting yourself.
Lastly, your experiences as a national team player, 2015 World Cup, what was the experience like?
I mean, it was a good experience, and I literally wish I also made steps like some of my colleagues to the national team. But yeah, it didn't happen that way. But I'm literally happy that I was able to represent Ghana at some point in my life.
Do you think you still are in the shape to get a call up for the Black Stars?
I mean, Black Stars is always open. If I see the kind of players they invite, why not?
If you see the kind of players they invite, why not? You think, okay, so you've seen the kind of players they invite. Have there been any points where you think, I've played better this season? This kind of wingers that have been called, I think I can play better than this.
I mean, not me, but I always use, for example, like Bernard Tekpete, Joseph Paintil. There are other players, but those are the players that I really like. I have known growing up. I mean, For
Joseph
example,
Pencil have had a lot of collabs with the Black
I
Stars.
mean, yeah, but he didn't go for the World Cup.
Yes.
But there are players who didn't even score half of
The goals he
the
scored
goals he
for
scored
Genk.
for Genk,
Yeah.
and I played in Belgium at the same time. He is an unbelievable player. So I don't know. I mean, I respect whatever the coaches, the management, whoever they decide. Yes, but at the end of the day, you also look at players who, at that moment, perform. National team is about winning games. It's about who is in good shape
Shape
at
to
that
play.
moment. But no, but if you are only Messi and Ronaldo can do that. Aside that, you are
No other
nobody.
player.
You if they are
Not
not in
even
a good
Neymar.
shape, they can take them. But aside these two players, if you are not performing, they don't. It's you just have to accept as professional players. But I remember sometime Bernard when he scored in the season I think 15 goals and 12 assists.
Since,
He
yeah.
was still not called to the national team. And I'm not gonna mention names, but I know players who played in, is it second division in, I don't know, in one of those small countries, and they got called up to African Cup. And for me, it
Which year are you
was,
talking about?
um,
2017.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
say it.
2017, 2019. I think Tekwete was on the stop form, was playing frequently,
And I
scored a
was
lot of
like, I
goals.
was surprised. I was like, nah, this. I mean, the coaches, respectfully, we all respect them, but at the end of the day, we all want something good for the country.
Okay.
So take the right players, do the right job, and just like Andrea, you people say, oh, he's not playing, and this. I mean, that's how football is. Sometimes you don't. Some players you don't. They don't need to score 10 goals to bring them to the national team, because their presence alone brings a lot to the team.
Yeah.
I understand. Like even Thomas Partey, if he's 50% fit, you need him in the squad because he is someone who the players look up to. So if he's there, everybody will be pushed to do more. So yeah, at the end of the day, national team is open for everybody, no matter where you play. You just have to perform. And I know if you play international football, it's also going to be a different story. But then everybody see you, then it's up to you, the player, to show that I am qualified or I'm ready to play in the national team.
Have you met Diaye before?
No,
Do you
I
think,
mean met him like
yes,
yeah,
you've
but never had conversation
changed
with
with
him.
him.
Yeah.
Do you think he should be in a Black Stars team?
At the moment,
Yes.
I mean, he's doing really good in his national team,
And his club side.
his club side, but I think there are players who plays his position deserves that chance at the moment, like for these games that they're playing now, and I think it's fair that he also, as a professional, I know he will understand that. We all respect he's a legend for the country, but at the end of the day, there are some games you need to give chances to some players, and I think the national team management they are doing that very well. You can see a lot of new faces, just to see them, like to give them the opportunity, the feeling they have a chance in the national team, and it will motivate the young ones too. And I think at the moment, if it's a big competition like a World Cup, and he's performing really good, why not? You
Why
take
not?
him.
A bit on the captaincy issues. We've had a whole lot of issues about the Black Stars captain. Today is Dede Ayew. Today is Jordan Ayew. Tomorrow is Thomas Partey. Currently, you see Jordan as the captain of the national team. What's your take on that?
I mean, I have know about I don't know. The thing is, the management choose. I don't know who choose the captain. If the management or the players have to vote, but if the captain is not there, the assistant captain is the captain. If he's not there, the third
The
one is
third
the
captain.
captain.
Yeah.
And if three of them are not available, or then the the management just choose one of the players. It's just a captain for a game. It's not a big deal.
It doesn't have any influence on the
No,
performance
but I mean, or in the worst case, you just look who is the oldest player, or
that the players respect.
who has played more games in the national team. Then you can decide on that. It's just one game. It's not like you are the captain for the whole till you retire. No, but at the end of the day, people always have their
Opinions.
opinions and all that about captain. But me, for example, I don't care who is the captain. At the end of the day, we're all on the
You
same
want to
pitch.
win,
You
yeah.
can be the captain, but I'll play better than you.
Way
So
better. So I wrap up with, in history of Ghana football, which players do you consider your top five?
top five.
Yeah.
For me, I always say, but people don't understand. I say Samuel Jan is number one.
Samuel Jan is number
You
one.
can call all the big names.
What's so
I mean,
special?
I have seen Samuel Jan play. The other ones, I mean, Abedi Peles and all those, I've never seen them play before, so I cannot count them. So if I count them, then it's like I'm just following the trend,
Okay.
and that's not right. You have to make decision based on what you have seen.
I usually see him play.
Oh,
Michael Essien.
yeah, Michael Essien for sure he will be part.
So Asamoah Gyan number one.
Number one.
Number two.
Number two, I would say Michael Essien.
Michael Essien number
Yes,
two.
number two.
Number three.
Number three, I would say Sule Mutari.
Sule Muntari.
Yeah.
Number four.
Number four. This is, I think number four. I would say maybe underrated player, Koja Samuel.
Yeah.
People don't know what this guy is did for the national team, but for me, he is most underrated national team player in
Most
Ghana.
underrated. And the last one.
The last one, I mean, I could call anyone, but I would say the goalkeeper, Kingston.
Olili.
Yeah, I mean, he is a very good goalkeeper, but you know, at some point, players like thought maybe he wasn't good because he considered some easy goals and all that.
Yeah.
But we in the game, we know that the mistake was somewhere else. But then he got the goal. Everybody says he's not good. The same applies to my friend Ziggy. People say he's this, he's that.
He's your friend, Atizigi.
Yes, I always say
Oh, you meet him in
we played, I don't know, I think 6-7 years together.
7 years.
Yeah, Red Bull here, Ghana, and we
Okay.
played in Salzburg together. He played in Liefering a lot.
Do you think he's a very good goalkeeper?
Ziggy,
Yeah.
that's a big joke.
I met my friend.
He is unbelievable.
I'm the only person who believes in Atizigi in
He
Ghana.
is unbelievable.
So you're the second person.
Watch his statistics.
Oh.
Don't watch about watch goals he gets. Watch about the games he plays. How many
Saves.
important saves he makes in a game.
That is what I
Not
say
just
every time, and then people
in a
tend to
game.
argue with me. I'll be like, guy,
And he
I've
is
been watching a lot of St. Gallen matches. I watch Atizigi. I see the kind of saves he make.
He
And then
is.
people tend to say he's considered 60 goals, so he's a bad goalkeeper. No,
I
we
mean,
don't.
it's conceding 60 goals doesn't mean it's you can. For example, if your defenders keep making mistakes and you keep getting goals, doesn't mean you're a bad goalkeeper.
Definitely.
If one player runs to you with the ball, what's the chance of you getting the ball? The pole is so big, the chance is zero.
There are
Zero.
lots of people
Because
always
we're talking about
Atizigi.
play on the higher level. If I run to a goalkeeper alone, the chance of you getting the ball is zero. In the worst case, I will just put the ball on the side, run past, put
What
it
would you do?
inside.
Nothing.
You can do nothing.
Worst case scenario, penalty. You'll still concede.
Exactly.
Red card.
But
So
I always say, people always have their mind what they want to say. But this guy, I forget. I just beg Ghanaians to start following him in his
Yeah.
club. Watch his games, and then you can confer. You
No,
can
I
say
wa- but
he's
this
not a good
guy
goalkeeper.
considered a lot of goals in, I think, 2021. Yet he won the best goalkeeper in Switzerland. What are they talking about?
He has always been the
Been
best goalkeeper
in
there for
Switzerland.
long.
So what are they talking about? So you mentioned Ronaldo, Messi. The last player to make it three, your greatest players of all time.
I mean, I would say Ronaldinho, but I haven't watched Ronaldinho that much. So I would say Neymar.
Neymar.
Neymar is incredible.
Neymar.
Incredible player.
Neymar.
I think, also underrated.
Very underrated.
I'm telling you.
Highly underrated.
Highly
Criminally
under-
underrated.
I watched his documentary and I see people claim he's diving a lot. This guy, the number of kicks he gets in the game, I think if all players should be getting that, I think all players will be injured. Believe me, he is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. All right, thank you very much. I think that is where we should end the interview. I'm very grateful.
Thank you very much for
to
the
having you
invitation.
here. And I hope to see you once again.
Yeah.
When
okay.
are you going back to
I'll be going
Austria?
next week.
Next week?
Yeah.
Oh, too soon?
Yeah.
For pre-season?
Yes.
Okay.
Because of the Europa League qualification, we need to start early.
Okay. All right. I wish you the best.
Thank you very
and
much.
I hope I see you in the UEFA Europa League. You score a lot of goals.
For sure.
I want to see you back in the national team.
I will,
want to see you
I will.
perform
I'm
in the
doing my
national team.
best.
Because next year we are playing the World Cup.
Yeah, let's see what. Maybe I could play for another country. We never know.
Oh, you want to play for Austria? Oh, you
not
want to
Austria.
do what Kevin Danso is doing?
I'm possible. I can play for some countries, which who might which will play in the World Cup, but
Like,
I'm not gonna mention
no, you should
anything.
share with me.
No,
Okay, backstage.
maybe.
Backstage. Right. So it has been a very interesting and very great conversation with David Atanga. Carrying plays for Wolfsberger in the Austrian top flight, Austrian Bundesliga, and a lot of opportunities he's had playing for Red Bull Salzburg. He's had stints with clubs in Germany, and he shared his career, interesting stuff about his career with us, experiences he's had. This is the Gajo Podcast. My name is Ejari. Kindly subscribe to our channel on YouTube as German Sports, on TikTok as German Sports. We see you again in another episode.